Hey everyone, okay, today we are breaking down what is, without a doubt, the absolute most extreme game of hide and seek ever played on planet Earth. I mean, forget everything you know about hiding behind a curtain or, under your bed. We are looking at top-tier competitors dropped into a massive, completely empty courthouse, pushing human ingenuity literally to its limits. So let's jump right into this analysis, because the strategies we're going to see are absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, let's dive into this. 3. That is the number of days these players arrived in advance just to set up their spots and get their gear ready. Think about that crazy ratio for a second. That is 3 full days of relentless construction, tactical planning, and setup, all just to survive for one single hour.
And you might be wondering, why go to such extreme lengths? Well, it's all about the stakes. Surviving that single hour secures an instant 50,000 rupees. But actually the real prize? Making it through that hour gets you a golden ticket to the final round. And that is where they'll face off against other top players for a massive $1 million grand prize. So yeah, the pressure here is incredibly high.
Let's quickly lay out the rules of engagement. The arena, an entirely empty courthouse. The time limit is strictly 1 hour. Prep time is 3 days, and the goal, obviously, is to completely evade the hunter. It sounds like a simple childhood game, but honestly, we've got to look at this with a totally straight, analytical approach because of how wild the execution gets.
Moving on to Player 1, Roof Strategy. Right out of the gate, the competitor we'll call Hair-Pulling Guy cranks the difficulty to maximum, and he actually chooses to make his stand right at the entrance post.
His strategy here targets a massive psychological blind spot. Think about it. Hunters usually ignore the entrance, right? They just assume players are going to bolt as far away as possible. So what does he do? He literally cuts a physical hole into the ceiling of the entrance post, climbs up inside, and then, actually scratch that, this is the genius part, he completely patches and seals the hole from the inside. He essentially traps himself inside the architecture, totally invisible from the outside.
Player 2, under the tiles. Now what's really interesting about this slide is the core assumption Board Guy makes here. He figures hunters systematically check walls and corners, but they almost never look down and question the actual floor they're walking on.
You just got to appreciate the deadpan absurdity of this underground strategy. It is so methodical. Step 1, he meticulously removes a single 500 rupee marble floor tile from the stairs. Step 2, he digs out a hidden pit underneath, just big enough for his body. Step 3, because it's an airtight space, he hooks himself up to a literal oxygen tank. And finally, step 4, he pulls the tile back over himself seamlessly. The guy literally buried himself alive under the courthouse stairs on life support.
And that brings us to this quote. He would never be found unless the hunter calls an excavator to search the courthouse. It highlights just how impossible this spot is. The seams on that tile were matched so perfectly, like a giant puzzle. There was zero visual clue he was down there. Honestly, short of bringing in heavy machinery to rip up the foundation, Board Guy is virtually invincible.
Next up, Player 3, Ceiling Renovation. If you thought burying yourself was intense, wait until you see Pawan. He completely abandons the idea of simple hiding and crosses straight into full-blown architectural engineering.
Let me paint a vivid picture of this space for you. Look at the comparison here. The original room he picked had 2 vertical rows of cabinets stacked against the wall. So Pawan goes in and constructs a completely new structure, lowering the entire ceiling of the room by 30 centimeters. In his renovated version, that top row of cabinets is completely swallowed up by the fake ceiling. Now if you walk in, you only see 1 row of cabinets.
So where is he actually hiding? He's sitting inside that swallowed upper cabinet, completely hidden above the new fake ceiling. And there's this almost comedic level of brilliance to it. Even if the hunter gets suspicious, climbs up, and opens those visible cabinet doors below, there is absolutely nothing there. Pawan is safely tucked away in the upper half, and the cherry on top, he even pulled his ladder up into the ceiling with him.
Finally, we hit Player 4, Breaking Walls. Ankit isn't just using existing furniture or putting up drywall, he is actively dismantling the physical brick-and-mortar walls of the courthouse itself to build his hiding spot. Which builds to this huge, staggering question. How can the hunter possibly find these players without heavy machinery? We are way past looking in shadows and checking sight lines. How on earth can a normal human, just using their eyes, uncover players who have physically embedded themselves into the building's structural blueprint? It completely redefines the game, doesn't it? It kind of makes you wonder,
Who is really being hunted here?